is needed at 216 and a half west. We've got a water heater on fire in the laundry room in the house.
That's not a phone call you want to get from the fire department Thursday at 5 o'clock. I'm going to replace it tomorrow, but for tonight, I'm just going to get everything out of the house that smells. Unfortunately, there was no way to shut the gas off, so I'm just going to work on it live.
I mean, I don't claim to be a professional or anything, but man, my good.
That commentary was brought to you by my younger sister. The gas pressure in a house is about 7 inches of water column, which is about a quarter of a PSI, which is why I'm able to take that hose off and put a cap on there in a small room with a pilot light. The fire also melted through one of the water lines, so I'm just going to get a new shutoff valve put on there real quick, so they will have cold water to flush the toilet for the night. Trent stopped by with a 2-wheel cart to help me get the water heater out of here. For tonight, we're just going to throw it on the front lawn, get some of this burnt tubing out of there, then rip up the carpet. Cut some of these old burnt phone lines, the coax cable, then we're going to take all that and remove the carpet outside. It seems like at work I've done more cleaning in the past month than I have in the past year. Remove as much of this sooty debris as possible, then we're going to wipe the walls down with a bleach solution. Once we have as much of that soot removed from the wall as we're going to get, we're going to use some rags to clean up any debris from the floor, and then be done for the night. Tomorrow, we're going to head out to Menards and start shopping. I'm going to pick up a flexible pre-made conduit made by Southwire, 30-amp breaker, and a few other small electrical parts. Get on site, unload the water heater, bring the old water heater back, then we're going to take a hammer and break off the drain valves to help it drain a little bit faster. Even though I tried emptying it last night, I was surprised at how much water was still left inside. And here you can see the extent of the soot damage that was created from the fire. It definitely could have been much worse if it wouldn't have melted through the water line which put the fire out. I'm using a special spray paint which will help contain the smell. While the paint's drying, we're going to go outside, unbox the water heater, and drag it into the house. I figure after moving that water heater, I can skip the gym for today, get it inside, and set it in place. They got to have a warning label on everything, and this one's saying don't hook up the electricity before you get it filled with water. We'll get a new shutoff valve on the cold water side, and a regular brass fitting on the hot water side. I'm also going to get this tube installed, which is made out of polypropylene. I'll get that attached to the temperature and pressure valve. This is a valve that will open up if there's too much pressure or too much temperature. It basically keeps your water heater from turning into a bomb. Next, I'm going to focus on getting the cold water hooked up to this water heater. And unfortunately, the PEX that I'm using comes in a roll, so I've got to try to bend it back straight. After the cold water is attached, I can turn the valve on, and then temporarily hook up the hot water side, which we're going to right now drain outside until the water heater is full. Once I got a steady stream of water coming out, we'll shut it down and get everything plumbed into place. Once I've got all the tubing connected on the hot water side, I'm going to bleed any residual air from the system, and now finally focus on the electrical. We'll be using number 10 wire, which will connect to a 30-amp double pole breaker. Prep the water heater by removing these two covers, and then from the electrical panel, we're going to feed this wire back. Start with the ground, then run the two hots. Next, we're going to land everything on the water heater. To make the connection at the water heater, I'm going to be using some 221 Wago connectors, which are rated for up to number 10 wire, and I think they can go up to 95 Celsius. Once all the connections are made on the water heater side, we're going to get the cover reinstalled, then get our number 10 wire landed on this double pole 30-amp breaker. Once we've double checked everything, we're going to turn the breaker on, then we'll focus on the cover, get these two knockouts removed, and resecure the cover on the electrical panel. The only two things left is insulating the water lines on the water heater and cleanup. This project could have been definitely worse, but this was all of the waste that was created. We'll throw the carpet away, but we will recycle all of the metal that we can. Unfortunately, this dumpster is full, so we've got to toss it over the side. Then I'm going to be done with this project and on to the next one.